good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 6th ArtTech Forum. We are so happy to be back in person and to be in this beautiful resort, Villars, with a very exciting gathering bringing together art and technology experts from all over the world. My name is Muriel Siki, and I will be with you throughout the forum to guide you through the program, whether you are here or you are following us online. Many of you have been with us since 2017 when the forum was created, but for those of you following us for the first time, you will see that this is a unique opportunity to explore the intersection of art and technology and to see how they shape our present and our future. ArtTech's objective is to promote and help cultural and creative industries. During the next 2 days, we hope to surprise you with the infinite possibilities that arise when art and technology converge. Our speakers will address many topics, such as music, interactive media, performing arts, blockchain, metaverse, just to name a few. Some interventions will be short, like TED Talks, some will be longer, and we will also have roundtables. This is an interactive forum, and we look forward to your questions on these important topics. For the third consecutive year, we are partnering with an innovative platform developed by a Swiss startup. Their platform will enable you to participate more fully in this forum, and for those online, it will allow you to contact our keynote speakers and all of the participants. One of the highlights of the forum is our ArtTech Prize, which will be awarded to one of the 8 innovative startups selected by an international jury. You will have the final word, since you will be the one selecting the winner of this very prestigious prize. But I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. And one more thing. There is a photographer in the room taking photos. If you don't want to have your picture taken, please let him know. We are also taping this forum, and obviously, since it's online, so if you don't want to be on, be aware of that, but we have no cameras actually filming the audience, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. To begin the program, a few words of welcome, first from Patrick Michel, who is on the board of the ArtTech Foundation and is a senior lecturer at the University of Lausanne, followed by the syndic of Ollon Commune, the Ollon Commune, which Villars belongs to, that is Patrick Turrian.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, dear friend, as you heard, I'm Patrick Michel, a member of the board of ArtTech, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you. I'm very humbled to open this forum. Welcome everyone to Villars. The sun is almost shining for this 6th edition of the ArtTech Forum. After Lausanne, Geneva, Zurich, which was online because of the pandemic, Venice and Istanbul last year, we are now gathered in the middle of the Alps. So welcome also to our online attendees. A very rich and interesting program is waiting us with a keynote speech today by Moritz Leuenberger, former president of the Swiss Confederation, and among others, Cosmogony, a remote digital performance in real time created by the company Gilles Jobin. Nothing would have been possible without the support of Promotion Économique Vaud and Audemars Piguet. And I also would like to thank Villars Tourism and Villars Institute for the help and support. Let me also finally thank Cybel'Art, Wiz, One Pontaine Industries, and Thea Suisse. I also would like to take just a few seconds to congratulate and warmly thank Nathalie Pichard and the team for the organization. Without Nathalie, nothing of this forum would have been ever possible. Thank you very much to everyone, and I now invite Patrick Turrian to join me on the stage. I look forward to meeting you all later, and please enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Villars Palace. Villars Palace, c'est un endroit magique. C'est un endroit qui est rené il y a environ 1 année et demie, après d'une longue période où il a passé par le Club Méditerranée et d'autres. Et nous avons eu la chance d'avoir des investisseurs qui ont repris ce bien, qui l'ont rénové et qui vous est offert pour votre 6e forum. Vous aurez dans ce lieu magique l'occasion de vous retrouver, de débattre, et je suis persuadé qu'il va vous aider à pouvoir donner des nouvelles idées et découvrir un monde nouveau. Welcome to the commune of Ollon. Ollon is one of the biggest commune of Canton de Vaud. Is 23 village and is something. Sorry for my English. It's not. That I will be French and English, but I will try to follow in English. So the commune of Ollon starts in the valley, where is around 500 meters, and we go in the Alps till 2,200 meters. In all these 23 villages, each family or people live in the village, have their own and independent, and also we try to have a community like a little Switzerland, because Switzerland is 24 cantons, we have 23 villages. We are, Mr. President, a little smaller, but we have sometimes the same problem than you have in part of Switzerland like Zug or Ticino or Geneva. We have Paluire, and where is a little family lives there, and also in other village. But it's a really passionate area, and this time you will be here, we hope you have the time also to spend in our village, because this village is a great resort also for the ski, but also for the summer. And if you have the time to go in the Alps, we have a little train, bring you to 2,000 meters, where you can make a little walk, because this weekend will be a beautiful weekend when we will have sunshine. Villars vous accueille vraiment avec grand plaisir. Nous sommes très honorés de pouvoir vous avoir pendant ces 3 jours. Nous vous souhaitons de bons débats et bienvenue encore à Villars. Merci.
So as you've just heard, the ArtTech Foundation is very fortunate to have the support of the Villars authorities as well as the Canton de Vaud. Our next speaker, Raphaël Conz, is the Managing Director of the Office for Economic Affairs and Innovation of the Canton. He is responsible for the economic development policy, excuse me, as well as financial and tax incentives for Vaud-based startups. Before listening to Mr. Conz, here is a short video of what is being achieved in this canton.
Innovation takes time.
It's challenging.
Frustrating. But often a thing of beauty. Innovation. We understand it takes ideas, dedication, vision.
Above all, it takes people, entrepreneurs who love to innovate.
Startups that love to make change. And companies who are not scared of taking risks or wonder what could be. Fostering innovation requires the right environment to flourish.
Vaud is one of Europe's leading innovation hubs, with a vast number of growing industries. It's where Swiss quality of life, stability, diversity of skilled labor, talent, and academic research are all linked together to grow ideas
and innovate. Our ecosystem is rich with diversity, setting up endless possibilities between many different sectors. Health tech and life sciences,
food tech and nutrition, digital trust and cybersecurity,
aerospace and precision engineering,
AI and machine learning,
sport tech,
drones and robotics,
energy and environment technology, all converging to harness each other's high-tech strengths.
We act as a bridge between startups, corporates, investors, and entrepreneurs. We understand innovation takes connections, support, and financial incentives.
That it takes collaboration, talent, and the most advanced technologies to push ideas forward and bring them to market. That's why we promote, invest, connect, and grow innovation. Vaud.
So, ladies and gentlemen, dear entrepreneurs, investors, partners, and stakeholders of the ArtTech ecosystem, it's a great pleasure to also welcome you here in Villars, in Canton of Vaud. So, very pleased to be here in Villars, as it's not only a very successful and beautiful ski resort and tourism resort, it's also a place very well known for its world-renowned private schools. So I would like to take the opportunity and really thanking all the organizers, especially Nathalie Pichard and her team, for inviting the Canton of Vaud to be one of the partners of this ArtTech Forum. It's our first, I would say, support and contribution. I would like to take the opportunity to give you a flavor of our innovation ecosystem. How do we nurture innovation in Canton of Vaud? We all know that innovation is about academic research expertise, but it's about entrepreneurs, investors, but also the authorities can make also interesting, I would say, initiatives. So, as I mentioned, any, I would say, innovation ecosystem in the world relies on 5 pillars. I will go through all these different stakeholders and providing you some key data about Canton of Vaud. 80,000 is the number of talents, professors, researchers, students involved in the academic and research communities. So Canton of Vaud is probably one of the largest concentration of research and academic institutions. We have more than 20 universities and research centers in a canton of less than 1 million inhabitants. So what is interesting is to see the convergence of these different school universities. We have EPFL involved in technology, science. We have the EHL in hospitality management, the ECAL in the design field. We have also many research centers in the field of life science, such as the University Hospital of Chuves. So all this, and also, of course, IMD, which is probably one of the most well-known university for training executives at worldwide level. So all these talents are converging, all this, I would say, expertise is converging and allowing our authorities to really develop what we can call a very transdisciplinary ecosystem, and we are focusing our economic development policy towards some innovation domains such as the ArtTech, and I will give you some example. 500 is the number of startups based in Vaud. As I mentioned, thanks to this concentration of academic and research institutions, there are roughly between 50 and 70 new startups coming out as spin-off of these institutions. So we are also well known in Switzerland if we Compared to the size of the population, we are the fourth country in Europe in terms of number of startups per million of inhabitants, but we are also very well positioned in terms of unicorns. So we try also to turn from startups to scale up. I mentioned that there are more than 500 startups, very also well positioned in the ranking, the Swiss startup ranking, as we are the second canton after Zurich, having the most or the biggest density of startups. But what is interesting is to see that among these startups, roughly 10 to 15% become scale-up companies. So scale-up are startup which has a growth of more than 20% of the number of new jobs created and the turnover for a period of at least 3 years. And these startups are creating a lot of jobs. They are also investing in the region, and this is also why it's important for the diversification and the acceleration of our economy. And you have here the list of these 51 companies that are really fulfilling the criteria to be scale-up and to be part of this community, which is a community with a dedicated services, dedicated programs run by Innovo, our innovation promotion agency. I don't want to go in many details, but it's just for you to know that there are this type of, I would say, initiatives here in Canton of Vaud. 550 million is the capital invested in Vaud-based startups last year. Currently, I would say, venture capital industry is also facing some challenges as the financial markets are not really in good shape. But still the performance of the Vaud ecosystem is quite impressive for the last 10 years. And you also see that in Switzerland in total, last year there was roughly 4 billion invested in Swiss startups. Canton of Vaud is roughly 15 to 20% of this amount. And once again, it's an impressive growth for the last 10 years. Also with a record amount of investment last year and also a record in number of rounds made for investment in Switzerland. 2000 is the number of high-tech companies based in Vaud. We are also lucky to host big and very world-renowned corporates. This organization, we talk about Logitech, especially in this field of ArtTech and also creative industry. But there are a lot of other companies that are really also investing in what we call the open innovation platforms that we have created in the region. With Nestlé, we have an acceleration program for startups. We also have one initiative in the field of digital trust and cybersecurity with companies such as Sikpa, Nagra, Elka. So there are some expertise and some initiatives where the corporates are more and more collaborating with the startups. 20 million is the amount that the government in Vaud put every year for the benefits of the ecosystem to support some, I would say, facilitators organizations or some, I would say, programs dedicated to startups, corporates, and or to really turn from innovation in the research centers to new economic, I would say, creation with either new startups or companies that are benefiting from this technology coming from the research institution. So we have Innovo first, as it is our one-stop shop for entrepreneurs, dedicated to support any, I would say, entrepreneurs. It's roughly 400 companies that are supported by Innovo every year. We have our office providing financial incentive grants to support startups. It's an amount of 250,000 within a period of 5 years. We also have a foundation called FITS that provide direct loan from 100 to 500,000 in matching also with private investors. So the idea is really to make sure that we have a pipeline of new companies, new projects, and that we help these companies to develop till they are interesting for investors, for corporates, and then of course we all know that startups requires a lot of investment to perform and to grow successfully. So the canton is helping more at early phase stages. We also have different organizations supported by the cantons covering 4 pillars, from financing to coaching, innovation parks, cluster organization. I won't go in details. It's just to say that there is a support for any companies at any stage of development, and we try also really to make sure that there is an offer for all companies in this canton. We also have 8 innovation parks well spread in the canton. From the north to the south, we have some thematic innovation parks, one in aeronautics, aerospace called Swiss Aeropole, one in food tech, agri-tech called Agropole, one in life science, biotech, medtech called Biopole. We also have the Unlimited Trust campus from SICPA, which is dedicated to economy of trust, digital trust, cybersecurity. We have the EPFL Innovation Park with 15 buildings, the biggest innovation campus in Switzerland. Y Park, more dedicated to industrial, I would say, activities, and also one campus in the mountains close to Sainte-Croix, which is dedicated to additive manufacturing. 40 is the number of events, programs that we support. We know also that startups and any, I would say, all the stakeholders of the ecosystem need to have platforms to gather, to meet, to network, to partner. And this is also why we have some initiatives around investors with the Tech Tour, the SICTIC, which is a business angel community. We are supporting this forum, but another 20 other forums in other fields. And we also have this, what we call acceleration program, as with Mass Challenge, Kickstart Accelerator. And we have, and I will go a little bit deeper on the innovation challenge called Quart that we have launched recently. So what about the creative economy and ArtTech? So we tend to more and more, I would say, gather, because ArtTech is something where Canton Novo is well positioned. We have an ecosystem also, I would say, very, sorry for that, very dynamic with all, I would say, actors from gaming, artists, the cultural institutions. Also, Canton Novo is also, I would say, a region with a great concentration of arts and cultures institutions. And if you combine this with the research and academic institutions plus entrepreneurs and investors, we really have a great community to nurture also in this field of creative economy and ArtTech ecosystem. In Switzerland, the Swiss creative economy and ArtTech rely on 75,000 companies, which is 11% of the Swiss economy in terms of number of companies. It's 500,000 working people, so it's really a survey that has been made by an initiative you have here, a report from 2018, and it also comes from the data of the Swiss Federal Institute for Statistics. It's 10% of the Swiss working people, and half of these persons are directly involved in the creative economy. In Canton Novo, we have different initiatives. Of course, we are happy to host the ArtTech Foundation, very well positioned at national, international level. We also have a platform called also ArtTech at local, more local level to also nurture the ecosystem in this field specifically. The Canton Novo has launched 2 initiatives. One is called the video games. Another one is the Quart. In French, it means quand l'art rencontre la technologie, so when arts meets technology. It's an innovation challenge dedicated to the ArtTech field. The video games, it's a call for projects every year. We have made already 5 editions. The idea is really to give the opportunity to entrepreneurs to, I would say, develop their projects and get access to an award with also a grant for different projects that are really boosting this gaming sector. And we have, as I mentioned, this innovation challenge, Quart, where we launched, that we launched last year. We are about to launch the second edition. So the idea is really to support project, to accelerate from an idea to a potential startup. The idea is really to boost innovation and to make sure that we have more projects and more startups in this field. I think that's about it. I've been a little bit long, so I hope you have had some, I would say, information. I'm here with my colleague, Emilien. I think he's there. I think I've seen, so Emilien will be there. So don't hesitate to come to us. We are here to really answer any questions that you may have. And I really would like to wish you a fruitful forum and to take the opportunity to taste also the wine from the region. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raphaël, and thank you for giving us this very important background on the economic landscape here in Vaud. We are extremely honored to have with us today the former president of the Swiss Confederation, Moritz Leuenberger. Mr. Leuenberger was a member of the Swiss Federal Council from 1995 to 2010. He headed the Department of Environment, Transportation, Energy, and Communication. Throughout his prestigious political career, he has always been a visionary for the arts and for technology. After leaving politics from 2015 to 2020, he headed the board of the Foundation for Technological Assessment, which examines the impact of new technologies. Please give a warm welcome to President Leuenberger, who will speak to us today in German, but there will be an English translation on the screen.
Yeah, to underline the cultural diversity of Switzerland, I feel free to speak in German. But there will be a translation, and so hoffe ich, die eine oder andere versteht irgendetwas, was ich hier ausdrücken will. Gut. Also, meine Damen und Herren, die gegenseitige Abhängigkeit von Digitalisierung und Kultur zu durchleuchten ist ein sehr vermessenes und verlockendes Thema, denn beide Begriffe, sowohl die Digitalisierung als auch die Kultur, sind nicht klar definiert und sie werden sehr verschieden und sehr ausufernd umschrieben. Digitalisierung wird gleichgesetzt mit Smartphone, mit den sozialen Medien, mit dem Internet, mit Google, mit künstlicher Intelligenz, mit der Globalisierung, mit dem Englischsprechen in den Alpen. Und unter Kultur wird auch alles verstanden, was ist nicht Kultur, Theater, Film, Showbiz, Musik, Bilder, Produktion, Reproduktion, und hin und wieder auch innovative Kunst ohne ökonomischen Mehrwert. Und trotzdem widmet sich nun Ihr Forum eben diesen beiden gigantischen Themen und ihrer Wechselwirkung. Und trotzdem hat auch TH Suisse sich dem gegenseitigen Einfluss digitaler Technologie und unserer Kultur angenommen. TH Suisse ist die Schweizer Stiftung für Technologiefolgenabschätzung. Sie hat den gesetzlichen Auftrag, neue Technologien auf ihre gesellschaftlichen Folgen hin zu überprüfen. Die Ergebnisse werden der Verwaltung, dem Bundesrat, dem Parlament und vor allem den Stimmbürgerinnen und Stimmbürgern unterbreitet, damit diese sich nachher eine eigene Meinung bilden können und die Entscheide fällen können, ob eine Technologie gefördert wird oder ob sie eingeschränkt werden muss oder ob sie sogar verboten werden muss. Unsere Studienobjekte waren Genome Editing, die DNA-Analysen, Medien- und Meinungsmacht, Digitalisierung und Demokratie. Und eine, die jetzt im Gang ist, widmet sich den Auswirkungen Digitalisierung auf die Kultur. Wir wollen untersuchen, wie die tägliche Praxis von Künstlerinnen beeinflusst wird, welche Chancen und Problemen sie begegnen. Um der Studie mehrere Facetten zu verleihen, haben wir 3 verschiedene Projektgruppen beauftragt. Erstens die Hochschule Luzern, die wird die Schlüsselfrage behandeln, wie nutzen Künstler die Digitalisierung in Musik, Theater und Design und wie verändern diese Technologien ihre künstlerische, kreative Arbeit. Zweitens, der Schweizerische Musikrat führt eine Umfrage in der gesamten Schweiz über die Digitalisierung und das Musikschaffen durch. Dann eine dritte, das ist ein Think Tank namens D-Zentrum. Er konzentriert sich auf die NFTs, auf die Non-Fungible Token. Und Ziel des Projektes ist es, eine Bestandesaufnahme der Diskurse zu nehmen. Alle diese 3 Studien sind noch im Gang. Sie haben extra gewartet mit dem Abschluss auf dieses Forum und Sie schauen jetzt auch zu, was hier geschieht. Und je nachdem, was Ihr Forum herausbringen wird, werden die Studien dann herauskommen. Kultur war und ist immer auf Technologien angewiesen. Das war schon in völlig analogen Zeiten so. Analoge Theaterbühnen und Museen oder dann eben heute digitale Plattformen. Erst diese kommunikativen Transmissionsriemen vermögen kulturelle Anliegen zu verbreiten. Sie sind gewissermaßen die Prothesen unserer Sinnesorgane, also von Auge und Ohr. Und sie verleihen dem kulturellen Schaffen eine größere Reichweite. Digitalisierung hat seit Jahren zu vielen neuen Wegen geführt, Kultur zu schaffen und Kultur zu verbreiten. Da geht es nicht nur um Obertitel in einer Oper oder um Headsets oder um bühnentechnische Experimente. Diese bühnentechnischen Experimente mit drehbaren Ebenen auf verschiedenen Höhen, die werden ja zum Teil mehr bewundert als der Inhalt des Theaters selbst. In der Oper in Zürich wurde während den Zeiten von Corona das Orchester und der Chor geografisch um einige Kilometer vom Opernhaus weg versetzt und per Glasfaser in den Saal mit dem Publikum übertragen. Auf der Bühne waren nur noch die Sängerinnen und die Sänger. Diese Notwendigkeit wurde scharf angegriffen und es wurde in den Medien geschrieben, das sei die Totenglocke der Oper, weil die Oper sei ja ein Gesamtkunstwerk. Aber wir müssen uns die Gegenfrage stellen, wäre es denn besser gewesen, vor Corona zu kapitulieren? Die Metropolitan in New York hat das getan. Sie hat während der Corona-Zeit vollständig geschlossen. Und so verunmöglichte sie, dass die Operngemeinschaft zusammengekommen ist. Also dank einer Technologie wie Glasfaser wurde in Zürich das Zusammentreffen von Künstlern und Publikum ermöglicht. Und genau das ist ja die Bedeutung von Kultur. Eine Gemeinschaft zusammenzuhalten, die auch unter erschwerten Umständen die Verbreitung der Kontroverse, dem gedanklichen Austausch zu ermöglichen. Ohne Technologien vermöchten viele künstlerische Visionen gar nicht in die Köpfe und in die Herzen anderer Menschen zu gelangen. Es sind daher Kultur und Technik, die zusammen in wechselseitigem Einfluss eine Gesellschaft verändert. Und mir scheint sogar, die Technik sei die wichtigere Rolle für den gesellschaftlichen Wandel. Wir können das an geschichtlichen Beispielen beobachten. Die Technologie des Buchdruckers förderte und ermöglichte weltliche Universitäten und die Aufklärung. Eisenbahn, Automobil, Telekommunikation beschleunigten das ewige menschliche Streben nach Mobilität, nach dem eigentlichen Sinn des Lebens. Mit der Gentechnologie wollen wir unser Erbgut so verändern, dass wir keine Krankheiten weitergeben. Oder wir versuchen sogar, unsere Nachkommen uns gegenüber zu optimieren. Die treibende Technologie unserer Zeit ist die Digitalisierung. Sie prägt und verändert unser Denken, unser Fühlen, unser Wollen. Mit anderen Worten, sie prägt unsere Kultur. Bedeuten ihre Veränderungen aber mehr als der übliche kontinuierliche kulturelle Entwicklung über die Jahrtausende oder bringen sie einen fundamentalen Qualitätssprung? Also schafft der digitale Wandel in der Kultur tatsächlich neue und andere Produkte? Führt er neben neuen Produktionsfirmen auch zu anderen Inhalten auf den Bühnen, in Literatur und Musik? Koordiniert er auch die Rezeption von Kultur neu und formt ein neues Kulturpublikum? Als Beispiel sind virtuelle Kunstwerke, also Non-Fungible Token, etwas komplett Neues, oder hat es das in Wirklichkeit nicht schon immer gegeben? Für viele, ich gehöre selber dazu, ist es unverständlich, dass in einem Meta-Universum virtuelle Kleider und virtuelle Kunstwerke zu schwindelerregenden Preisen erworben werden. Real können die gar nicht berührt werden und schon gar nicht zu Hause an der Wand aufgehängt werden. Aber es gibt dieses Phänomen in anderer Form schon seit Jahrtausenden. Es wurden doch in einem Kunstwerk oder zum Beispiel in einer Reliquie schon in analogen Zeiten überwirkliche virtuelle Kräfte gesehen und es wurde das Werk gerade deshalb begehrt und darum wertvoll. Es erhielt dadurch eine Bedeutung, die keiner realen Wirklichkeit entsprach, sondern nur Eigenschaften, welche sich die Menschen vorstellten und woran sie glaubten. Also zum Beispiel ein Schuh von Michael Jackson, ein Rock von Marilyn Monroe, und sei er noch so klein, ein Racket von Roger Federer oder unsere Rütli-Wiese oder ein Grabtuch eines Propheten. Das sind im Grunde genommen Sachen, die dadurch gesellschaftlichen Wert erreichen, weil wir unsere Vorstellungen hinein projizieren. Ob ein Objekt in einem Schrein oder im Internet ist, wo ist da der Unterschied? Die religiösen oder mythischen Projektionen erreichen zuweilen eine eschatologische Überhöhung, die dann eine ökonomische Wertsteigerung zur Folge hat. Und je mehr Menschen solche Vorstellungen übernehmen, desto höher ist dann der Preis und die Begehrlichkeit. Digitalisierung schafft neue Bedingungen für Kulturschaffende. Corona hat hier einiges vorgezeichnet. Künstlerinnen und Künstler von Kleinbühnen, deren Theater geschlossen wurden, die mussten ausweichen in die virtuelle Szene. Und parallel dazu entleerten sich die analogen Bühnen. Und das geschah deswegen, weil die Agenturen von den Künstlern wollten, dass sie ins Netz gehen, weil das war noch die einzige Chance. Weil sie aber ins Netz gingen, mussten sie den Inhalt und die Form ihrer kulturellen Darbietung ändern. Das heißt, sie mussten viel, viel kürzer produzieren, sie mussten visueller produzieren mit Bildern. Das hätten sie auf der analogen Bühne nicht gemacht. Die sozialen Medien haben also den Inhalt verändert. Als sie aber nachher zurück auf die analoge Bühne kamen, haben sie diese virtuell bedingte Änderung ihrer Kunstwerke übernommen. Und so hat sich die analoge Darstellung ebenfalls verändert. Und so entstehen eben neue Produktionen, neue Werke, andere Darstellungsformen und andere Formate. Das künstlerische Handwerk verändert sich als solches. Auch hier ist die Frage, ist diese Beschleunigung wirklich neu und nur durch die Digitalisierung bedingt? Ich als Politiker muss sagen, schon lange müssen Originaltexte gekürzt und gekürzt werden, weil wir mehrstündige Aufführungen nicht mehr ertragen. Sie sind uns zu lang, die Rezeption ist beschränkt worden, weil es zu viele andere mediale Instrumente gibt. Das gilt auch für Reden. Cicero oder Fidel Castro, die durften noch 4 Stunden reden. Heutige Politiker, die dürfen nur noch ganz kurz reden, höchstens noch eine Viertelstunde. Und es gibt natürlich Politiker, da ist auch diese Viertelstunde schon zu viel. Wie prägen digitale Zeiten uns, das Publikum? Kultur ist immer auf ein Forum angewiesen. Kulturschaffende brauchen Foren, sie brauchen ein Publikum. Jedes kulturelle Schaffen, ob nun in Wort, in Musik oder Video, kann nur durch den Widerhall bei den Mitmenschen funktionieren. Für einen Kulturschaffenden ist es viel besser, er wird ausgebuht, als es ist eine eiskalte, schweigende Mauer vor ihnen. Die Diskussion verlagert sich auf Netz und nimmt dort eine neue Gestalt an. Das kenne ich aus der Politik. Auch dort ist der demokratische Diskurs, hat sich verändert, weil eine andere Form des Publikums die Diskussion führt. Es gibt dazu den Ausdruck der diskursiven Resonanz und auf diese ist die Kultur angewiesen. Ich habe nun diese Verkürzung in der Diskussion, dass nur noch pointiert die Meinung A oder die Meinung B, Daumen auf oder Daumen runter gesehen wird, eine gewisse Zeit lang als eine Auswirkung der Technologie, der Digitalisierung angesehen. Ich glaubte, die Digitalisierung arbeitet mit den beiden Werten 0 und 1 und so wird sie technologisch aufgebaut. Und ich dachte, diese Technologie hat auch unser Denken geprägt. Aber ich habe heute diese Meinung nicht mehr, weil die Art und Weise der Technologie kennt ja das Publikum nicht. Das ist wie wenn wir ein Auto fahren, das fahren wir einfach und wir übertragen nicht die Technologie eines Benzinmotors oder Elektromotors auf die Art und Weise, wie wir das Auto fahren. Und dennoch gibt es einen Zusammenhang zwischen Digitalisierung und der neuen polarisierten Art und Weise, sowohl politisch zu diskutieren, als auch kulturelle Produkte aufzunehmen. Algorithmen, künstliche Intelligenz, ChatGPT, die funktionieren in einer ungeheuren Geschwindigkeit. Und dieses Tempo überträgt sich auf andere Entscheidungen, zum Teil unbewusst, zum Teil wird das aber ausdrücklich gefordert. Politische Abläufe, die sollen beschleunigt werden. Meinungsäußerungen zu Vorfällen, die sollen in Sekundenschnelle getwittert werden. Und das widerspricht eben einer demokratischen Gesellschaft. Demokratie besteht im achtsamen Zusammenleben von Menschen verschiedener Herkunft. Die Meinungsbildung in einer Demokratie soll Minderheiten aufnehmen. widersprüchliche Auffassungen austarieren und Kompromisse ermöglichen. Sie muss die notwendige Zeit für ein Umdenken garantieren und das erfordert eben Zeit und Sorgfalt und das gilt für das gesellschaftliche Zusammenleben. Wie oft werden wir heute in der digitalisierten Zeit ein binäres Entscheidungskonzept gezwungen? Umfragen, Befragungen, sogar Prüfungen, von der Fahrprüfung bis zum universitären Lizenziat, erfolgen in Multiple-Choice-Verfahren. Das ist gewiss effizient. So muss sich die Professorin und der Professor gar nicht lange mit den differenzierten Gedanken der Schüler auseinandersetzen, sondern kann einfach abhaken. Aber so wird jede autonome, kreative Meinungsbildung, jede differenzierte Entscheidung erstickt und wir werden zu Wesen reduziert, die nur noch binär A oder B oder Ja oder Nein sagen dürfen. Die Suche nach Alternativen außerhalb der Schablonen, selbstständiges kritisches Denken und erst recht die Fantasie wird abgewürgt. Und was sich in Politik, in den Universitäten, in den sozialen Medien zeigt sich auch auf den kulturellen Bühnen. Eine direkte Folge davon ist, dass Kulturschaffende uns eine einzige mögliche Interpretation eines Werkes imperativ einpauken, ohne uns eigene Assoziationen zu gestatten. Statt Anregung zum selbstständigen Weiterdenken, Eintrichtern von Meinungen. Und das widerspricht dem Genom von Kultur. Es ist ein Merkmal der Kunst, dass sie erkundet, dass sie tastet, dass sie interpretiert und diskutiert werden muss. Wenn uns eine einzige Interpretation aufgenötigt wird, ist das weniger Kultur als vielleicht Politik, schlechte Politik, populistische Politik mit dem Vorschlaghammer. Und so löst sich ein wesentliches Element der Kunst und der Kultur auf, die Anspielung auf Mehrdeutigkeit. Digitale Technologien errechnen ökonomische Werte und Zusammenhänge, aber Werte, auf denen Religionen, Philosophien, die Zivilisation und die Kultur gebaut sind, vermögen sie nicht zu erfassen. Digitale Mechanismen sollen deshalb Hilfsmittel der Kultur bleiben. Kultur und Kunst darf sich nicht von der Technologie steuern lassen. Aber vielleicht tut sie das ja schon längst und wir haben es nur nicht gemerkt. Ihr Forum wird das jetzt heute und morgen untersuchen und die richtigen Antworten finden und ich freue mich auf Ihre Resultate. Vielen Dank.
Mr. President, not only are you a political man, but you are also a philosopher. Thank you for your very thought-provoking words. Our next speaker, Laetitia, who is speaking to us from Seoul, is co-organizing the first ever XR-specific delegation with the Swiss Embassy in South Korea. She is director of Virtual Switzerland, the national association promoting the development of immersive technologies in Switzerland. She also advocates for European XR in her role as president of XR for Europe. She is a major champion and ambassador of Swiss and European augmented, mixed, and virtual realities. I hope that you can hear us, Laetitia, in Seoul. Welcome to Villars.
Thank you, thank you. Missing the mountains.
Okay, so I will give you the floor.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you, ArtTech Forum. Sorry I cannot join. So as you know, in Seoul, and here is a bridge that has nothing to do with Seoul since it's the George Washington Bridge in New York City. But this bridge is a symbol of the Second Industrial Revolution, and it was opened to the public in 1931. the reason I'm showing this slide is because the fun fact behind that bridge is that, one, it's a symbolic figure of that industrial revolution, as I said, but it's engineered by a Swiss ETH Zurich graduate called Ottmar Hermann Amann. And second fun fact, I've lived across the bridge in Leonia, which was a Korean town, and I'm for the first time in Korea. But the bridge is really the entity that I wanted to put forth, since what we do at Virtual Switzerland is really building bridges. And this leads us to the fourth, industrial revolution, which is about internet and renewable energies, and not about gas anymore, as it was at this time during the Depression era. So what we do at Virtual Switzerland, as many of you know, we're structuring this new industry here in Switzerland, but also abroad, and we're building this bridge between the language regions in Switzerland and between Switzerland and first Europe, second the rest of the world. So this is what we're doing currently, excitingly, in Seoul. And this is why, Virtual Switzerland is almost 7 years old now. It started in 2016 as a national thematic network, and it followed as a freestanding organization, if I may say. And from 2020, I've been leading this cluster, which is also a founding member of XR for Europe. XR for Europe has the exact same goals, which are to amplify the voices of XR professionals and talents in Switzerland, in Europe, to advocate for better investments. You were speaking, Mr. Leuenberger, about investors, VCs, and we really need European investment, because it is key that we acculturate the VC culture to the new immersive technologies. And so we advocate on the political, but also on the strategical level at boards and such. And we facilitate, of course, many connections, networking, matchmaking, gap financing, and really putting one person in front of another, also facilitating consortium building, which is key for Horizon Europe, tech transfer funding mechanisms, for InnoSwiss as well, and for Creative Europe.
Laetitia, I'm just interrupting you a second to tell you we have a little technical glitch in that we're not seeing your slides, but we are seeing you and we are hearing you, but we are not seeing your slides.
Good.
Okay?
You don't need my slides. If you see me, that I have backup slides.
Wanted to tell you.
Thank you, Muriel. Thank you. So yes, and as part of the advocacy, what we do is take part, as I was saying, in strategic consortiums as well, like the VR/AR Industrial Coalition, where we were consulted as regional cluster, and the end output of that consultancy was the initiative on Web 4.0 and virtual worlds by the European Commissions. It was published this past summer, and the European Commission has really worked on pioneering and becoming sort of a trendsetter by speaking of Web 4.0. There is a vision for that, and this is what they want to convey here. We're also taking part at the World Economic Forum's Metaverse Governance Working Group, mainly on matters of inclusion, diversity, and representation, which is very interesting. And also, I wanted to say that for XR for Europe, we have one Horizon Europe dedicated to ethics, impact, and interoperability, which is super exciting, and it's called XR for Human. With XR for Europe, we have also initiated a new program called Impulse, which is the European XR Accelerator, and it is open to Swiss creatives and project holders. So that's a very good news because there aren't many bridges between those two political entities. So together with very well-established XR events and conferences, festivals, and markets like Laval Virtual, Stereopsia Europe, VR Days, Foundation, the International Film Festival of Rotterdam, and the Forum des Images or New Images Festival in Paris, we have put together a year-long cycle of coaching, matchmaking, networking that really helps the project holders and the projects themselves. There was a deadline on the 20th of August for the creative contents, but there is still deadline this coming Monday, September 18th, for everything entrepreneurship. So if you have a project, be it an academic entrepreneurship project or a business spin-off entrepreneurship project, then you may submit. There is a link under XR for Europe. You go to services and you will find Impulse. And there you have all the criteria. It's pretty straightforward, but what it gives is really a very an accompaniment really of your project to help it grow.
Thank you so much. I think that we've all heard your call for these new projects. I'm going to have to cut you off now because we're really running late. Thank you so much. And
Muriel, I finished on this wonderful slide, so this is enough for me. I'm super happy to have been here, and I wanted to speak a bit of emotions at play that is opening up tomorrow, but don't worry about it. I'll have all times, and I wanted to just say quickly that we should also get aligned on the semantic for this field, because what is well said is understood more easily, and so we should perhaps speak of spatial and immersive art and content, and I tested this here in Seoul, and it works very well. And yes, also speaking of multi-participants experiences and of virtual social platforms. And that's it for me. Thank you, Muriel, and I hope everything goes well in Villars. Thank you for having me.
Well, we feel your passion, and we heard your call for all the entrepreneurs out there. Thank you very much for speaking to us from Seoul, Laetitia. And
thank you.
Bye. And now we will see another example of how Switzerland is playing an active role in the intersection between art and technology with our next speaker, Erinrose Sullivan. She is an accomplished marketing and strategy consultant with more than 20 years experience in gaming, entertainment, and technology. She has held senior positions with Electronic Arts and Ubisoft, to name just two. Erinrose is an active supporter of the creative tech scene across Switzerland, having been an expert for Poesia and a game juror for the Canton de Vaud. Currently, she is helping and supporting companies around the world in all things Web3. Please welcome Erinrose.
So I'm here to talk about Creatives Plus, the Swiss Creative Industry Association. If you go to the next slide. Oh, I'm sorry. Perfect. Wasn't sure. So Creatives Plus was founded to help bring together creative professionals to drive awareness and visibility of all of their activities and to really promote the sector at a national and international level. The association will provide networking and professional development and really bring a unified voice to the creative space, as it has such a strong impact culturally and economically in Switzerland. And it's something we're currently lacking, this representation on a national and international level here in Switzerland. So as a mission, we have It has fourfold. It's to support creative professionals through knowledge sharing and building, collaboration with academia, with other economic sectors. It is promotion of our creative industries to those other economic sectors at a local, national, and international level. It is fostering innovation. Of course, we all see the growth of digital technology from a production, communication, and distribution. It will be incredibly important for these varied actors. And ultimately, it should build a community through this platform for support and to bring value to it, economically and professionally and skill-wise. Now, as an association, we have a wide variety of actors that I'll show to you in the next slide, which means a range of skills and know-how and this multidisciplinary approach. So of course, there's a lot of opportunities with that, but there are challenges as well. But we believe that the creative industries they bring the verve, and as we'll see at this conference today, it's really the verve of innovation that complements and is important to all other sectors. And in terms of creative industries, this is currently comprised of 13 sectors, from architecture to design to gaming to music. Now, each of these might have their own specific association, and that's incredibly important, but bringing them all under one roof and bringing them together, it's about raising all ships. Oh, I didn't bring them all up. And that's 13 now. The future, as we're seeing and discovering, maybe there'll be new things developing. In terms of Geneva, our seed has been planted in Geneva, and Geneva is incredibly important as a city, as a place, because there are over 14,000 businesses and professionals in the creative space, representing over 13% of the GDP for the Canton of Geneva. As we saw earlier, it's 10% broadly for Switzerland. There's a culture of innovation and creativity in Geneva. There's the international organizations that are working very closely with the creative sector. I think recently the UN worked with a foundation or association, 1 meter 83, to do a tableau L'Oiseau Bleu. And Geneva as an international brand is also very important as we think internationally, as we talk about promotion. So as an organization, it's really about that first step, what we can do, what's needed, and it's really about connecting the community and bringing that, who's out there and what are they doing. So how we're doing that is a mapping of the players. And thanks to the help of the city of Geneva, or the Canton of Geneva, as well as local supporters, we have brought together over 14,000 local players that we have now mapped. That will be coming soon on our website. We're working out the final bugs of design of the 13 sectors that we can find over 3,000 of these people that we can look them up. Each will have their own window of information that'll be available. So our next step is to roll out our website with this database for everyone to have that visibility, followed by our strategic planning right now of monthly networking meetings and conferences and events and sharing sessions. So all of this will be happening in the next coming months. In terms of supporters and partners, we obviously are working with the Canton of Geneva, RTS, HED, which is the College of Art and Design of Geneva, Fongit, the incubator in Geneva, as well as the OP for their industries and technologies. So with that, I encourage all local players here to go to the website Creatis Plus, register, and be a part of the community. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're going to change the subject a little bit using jazz recordings, video of concerts or interviews. EPFL researchers are applying digital techniques to exploit these precious archives and thus creating new artistic and creative experiences. That's actually one of the objectives of the Living Archive Research Group, which was created in 2019, bringing together the EPFL, the School of Design and Art School of Valais, the Swiss Center for Effective Sciences from the University of Geneva, and Zurich University of the Arts. And to tell us more about this research and its projects, please welcome three of its team members, Alain Dufaux, Executive Director of the EPFL Cultural Heritage and Innovative Center, whose field of expertise is in signal processing for audio and images. Christophe Fellet, a sound artist, a musician, composer, and performer, professor at the EDHEA in Valais, and Didier Grandjean, professor at the Department of Psychology and Educational Sciences at the University of Geneva.
Thank you, Muriel, and it's a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you, Nathalie, for the opportunity of presenting our group. So, the Living Archive Research Group, effectively, it merges several competencies. EPFL is bringing the data sets, actually a material in terms of archives. We have been dealing with the Montreux Jazz Festival collection since a long time, so this is a very valuable collection that can be used to not only to develop technology research, but as well artistic creations and studies on emotions. EDEA is bringing everything regarding the artistic component, the performance, as well the way to add value to the archives through maybe new installations, immersive places. University of Geneva, Didier is bringing everything regarding the emotion, studying the emotion and understanding how it feels for the public to look at this archive in a new way is very important. And we have the support as well of the Zurich University of Arts, which has a lot of links with technology and artists as well. So I'm from the Cultural Heritage and Innovation Center in EPFL. We are a group which is specialized in digitizing collections, audiovisual collections, and bringing them to the researchers as a material to innovate in acoustic, signal processing, many different fields, which we cover since now nearly 15 years. Our competences, you see them here, digitizing, then documenting with the new ways and all the standards that are common in audiovisual archiving, and storage and the long-term preservation as well of those components. The Montreux Jazz Digital Project, I was mentioning that, is the first project we started already in 2010. The Claude Nobs collection is absolutely amazing. As you know, Claude had this vision to record everything, and we have there one of the most important testimony in music, in the different styles of music, the history of jazz, blues, and rock, as was said by Quincy Jones. And we have now a foundation that was created in 2013 already, the Claude Nobs Foundation, to cover that. The collection was registered at UNESCO in the Memory of the World program. You see a few numbers about this collection. This is actually the whole history of audiovisual recording, which is in Montreux. Another important collection and another important project for us is the one with the Verbi Festival. We call this project ECHO. Martin Engström came with an event which is really the unique place now where musicians, conductors, all the communities of classical music can get together in a very nice atmosphere, in a very nice place as well in the mountains. And we have really a collection which is unique, 30 years of recordings with pictures, with an incredible collection as well of annotated scores, and which is now being studied by musicologists to understand what is the evolution of the way the musicians are processing those very important heritages. We have, as a next project, the goal of creating a platform, Preludium, with the EPFL ECAL Lab in Lausanne, where we could really showcase the archive in an immersive way, but as well study what is the public for tomorrow in terms of classical music, what are the type of interactions to prepare in order to make it attractive as well for the younger generations. Prix Lausanne is another collection that we start working with my colleague Sarah Kenderdine, the professor in experimental museology, is involved to showcase this collection, 50 years of recording as well in video, and really the history, recent history of the way people are dancing on classical music. We can study, you see the movements as well, the evolution of the movement, so a lot of new projects ongoing as well here. So as you see, digitized collection became at EPFL a material really for innovation, research, and education. And as a few examples here, you can see new ways of analyzing the music, the key scale representation, which is a live way to analyze the content of music. We designed rooms, a small car here from a smart Nina in order to create a new place for the people to discover this collection in an immersive way as well. Kirel Benzi, a PhD at EPFL, created this artwork, which comes from the database of gathering all the artists who came at the Montreux Jazz Festival. As you see, every point here is a musician, and whenever two musicians play together, the 2 points are linked with a line. And you can create really some new ways of discovering the collection with that. For example, in a dome, where you can sit down and navigate in the collection, in the network of musicians, and go from style to style, discovering and following maybe a way which is yours to discover the collection. We did reconstruct the acoustic of the casino that burned in 1971. You remember maybe the concert by Frank Zappa and Deep Purple Smoke on the Water. We could now recreate the way it was in acoustical way, the acoustical feeling in this room, and mimic that in a new installation. Here, VR, we could record as well the concert from stage and then give the opportunity to the users to go and wear the glasses and feel really on stage with Santana maybe at 2 meters and with 3D sound being really diving into the way it sounds from stage. Montreux Jazz Odyssey was another example where we created a game to go through the Montreux Jazz collection. We study as well what is this festival representing for the population, the staff, all the people involved, what is really for everyone around Montreux, the impact of the festival on their career, on the way their family, who they did met through the festival. So we have a new collection of testimonies, which is being built now as a second archive, which is very important. And I will give the hand to my colleague Christophe from EDEA. We did record here, you see him with his team, with a team of students. During the festival in 2021, we did record the sound of Montreux. It was a very special year because it was a special festival during the COVID. And the idea was to create a choreography of the city and represent the sound of Montreux in 3D. So Christophe, I give you the hand for the next slides.
Thank you. So I'm the artist of the team, so I'm trained as a musician and as a researcher. I'm very interested in how we could, what are the new opportunities given by new technologies, but not only new technologies, new way of approaching or interacting with what can be called as a corpus of archives. So what we do mainly in the Montreux Jazz Festival is to look at tunes or consider tunes or concerts or specific artists, but what interests us is to have a relationship to a memory. As musicians, we are all trained in the past, so we learn all the music made by musicians before us, and that just invented new things and keep going with inventing on stage during the festival. And what happened in an archive is once this is recorded, this is fixed. So we lose the potential for interaction, and we lose all that indetermination aspect of improvised music, for example, but also in all kind of popular music, which is different than from music in verbier, which is more fixed. It's written music, so the relationship with written music is very different. So in the case of Montreux Jazz Festival, we are developing tools with friends and partners in IRCAM in Paris and University of Huddersfield in England, which is partly made of AI, but not only. There are analytic tools and also generative tools that are able to interact with improvisers and musicians. And the thing is, we would like to interact, as I just said, with the whole corpus and not just with one specific artist or one specific tool. So it needs some adjustments, and also to understand how we could just make things together and make new things from the past, a little bit in the model of a trained musician who had learned for maybe 10 years of conservatory and then played for 20 years is always able to do and redo the same thing or same gesture in a different way. And this is a little bit what we expect when we go to Montreux. If you go to a concert, or you went to a concert to artists like B.B. King, for example, you were expecting exactly what it was. But the thing is that musicians is always playing the same thing in a different way. So how do you interact with that fixed memory and give it a little bit back to life, if we can say that? So the thing is to have performances in which artists and musicians are able to discuss with that memory. So this is one of the performances I've given, but I like that picture because my head is half cotton. So, you know, I'm a drummer, so we know that drummers' heads are half empty. And we have to fill it with other tools. So I like that picture for that idea. And this is different aspect of our research, where we give workshops, we talk a lot with young musicians, we involve a lot of partners, all kind of partners, students, scholars, artists, and transdisciplinary kind of approach, where we can all think from our different backgrounds what could help to go in that direction. And I will ask my colleague, Didier.
Okay. Oh, the light is very strong. Then I'm the affective guys in this trio, working on emotion, especially using subjective feelings, but also body responses during an emotional episode, and neuroscience. And we are located, the Swiss Center for Affective Sciences, at the campus Biotech in Geneva. And we are trying to combine all disciplines concerned by this affective phenomena, then philosophy, sociology, neuroscience, neurology, and psychiatry, psychologists, and so on. And we are trying to investigate these phenomena, the affective ones, combining our approach. Let me just give you one example of the subjective feeling tools that we developed more than 15 years ago, actually. We developed a model of musical emotion. It was the first model based on music performances, and we demonstrated that these 9 dimensions, for example, wonder, transcendence, tenderness, and so on, are better to predict the emotion of people, and they agree more on this kind of model compared to other kind of model used before. And now it's worldwide used in research, but also by companies interested in this landscape of emotion induced by music. We also use this kind of motion capture in order to assess to what extent our brain processes the body movement which produce the music. And we demonstrated that the body representation are strongly involved in, for example, in musicians compared to controls. Then you have different kind of ways to listen music, and it's one of the research output that we produce. Don't want to go in details, of course. We have one specific project now, this project about sounds and humanitarian actions. Then the main, it's a collaboration with ICRC Museum, and with an exhibition in next year. And we are interested in how these testimonies that are now translated, I would say, and digitized by Alain. We would like to know to what extent this kind of testimonies induce emotion more when you have the voice compared to the semantic part. We have already a lot of research. It's just one example of research output that we did in 2005, showing that our brain is really sensitive to the emotion in voice. And we have specific dedicated neural networks that are biased our attention to the emotion in voice. And we are interested in this context how the values of people shaped the way that they're responding to their emotion in front of these humanitarian testimonies. Then it's one of the projects. We have other kind of projects, but it's just an example of the projects that we are trying to develop with different partners. And it's my group working on this neuroscience of emotion. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for telling us more about this fascinating project, these fascinating projects. Our next speaker, Faustino Cuadrado, comes to us from Barcelona. He has created an audio guide called App&Town Museum, which can be used by all, regardless of our capacities and skills. I think that speaks to all of us, and enables its users to obtain information about the objects in an exhibit and then serves it as a guide. Faust is a computer engineer and co-founder of startups such as Buy VIP Amazon. Please welcome Faust.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Muriel, for your kind introduction. Thank you to the ArtTech Forum and especially to Natalie for giving me the opportunity to show what Massfactory does for the art and cultural activities. So we are a high-tech company which develops systems for being used for everybody, and with the aim of improving life of citizens. So actually, usually we are the freakiest company at every event we are invited to, because if we go to a technology forum, we are seeing like people working with people with disabilities. If we go to a forum intended for people with disabilities, we are seeing as a techie guy. So it's quite difficult to say what kind of company we are. But at the end of the day, what we do is we are not involved directly in the art and the cultural activities, but our aim in this case is to bring cultural and art to all people, because for us the most important thing is to have this inclusion, equal opportunities for everybody. Sorry. This is our founding values, two founding values. One is universality, and the other one is improving life of citizens, is social welfare. This is the most important for us. Why do we decide to develop this App&Town museum, this special audio guide for everybody? Well, the first thing is we realized that in most of the cases we have this accessibility, or the accessibility concept is understood as the physical accessibility. So most of the museums or any kind of premises devoted to cultural activities, they have physical accessibility, but this is only one part of the accessibility. And the other thing is related to our founding value. So we want to design things which can be used for most of the people, and this is one of our main targets, and that's the reason because we decided to go ahead with App&Town Museum. Indeed, we are not the first ones working with inclusiveness in art and cultural activities. Since a long time ago, like in the Museum of Art of New York, they are working with tactile books and also with braille text, but they are more focused on blind people or people with visual impairment. So most of the cases we are focusing the accessibility on physical disabilities or visual impairment people or blind people. And the other thing is that we have to bring this accessibility concept to any kind of disabilities. And one of the points that are concerning the most for us is the people we are approaching 60s, 70s, and 80s, that what we call senior citizens, that we are going to have any kind of disability in our lives. So, and why do we have to forget of going to a cultural activity because we cannot understand the things that are shown? So we decided to develop this App&Town Museum, which is, as Muriel said briefly, or summarizing the idea, is an audio guide for visiting and navigating the museum or any kind of premises, can be indoor or outdoor premises. But taking into account that can be used for any kind of people with any kind of disabilities. That's our goal. The App&Town Museum comprises 4 different modules. One is the content management system, I will explain right now. A web app for managing all the system, a mobile app which is used for the user, and finally the Bluetooth beacon device which is identifying the object and also the position of the user. So this is the system. Is there any pointer here? Yeah. This is the content management system. It's one very important part of the system because we can have the information, it's storing the information in different languages, as many languages as we want. We can use easy reading or easy language to be understood for people with cognitive disabilities, or even for senior citizens or people with low education. There is audio description for people with visual impairments. We have sign language for deaf people. This is here, something that I miss here, Natalie, is this support for people with disabilities. And I'm used to go to places where we work with people with disabilities and there is no subtitles and there is no anyone here doing this sign of language, cipher languages. And also augmented reality. Another important part of the system is the Bluetooth. The beacon, sorry, the beacon is a Bluetooth device, and what it's doing is sending out an unique identifier, and this identifier is detected by the mobile app. Here there are some technical information which is not so relevant. Now, if we focus on the mobile phone, the smartphone, and the mobile app, is ready, or you can download it from a Google Play and Apple Store. The user interface adapts to users' capabilities, provides information to the user according their skills, and provides also navigation instructions. It can also recommend different itineraries, so you can have itinerary for scientific people or for artists, or you can have people itineraries related to the length of the visit and so on. And it can also manage paying the ticketing for the museum or the exhibition, and also for the usage of the app. At the end of the day, what we do is that there is a beacon sending out an information, an identifier, and the mobile phone is identifying this beacon, and it relates this information to an object, and it gives us information about the objects according to the user's skill. And we have also a very important part, which is the system. This is a web app. It's a web controlling everything. We have we can define these itineraries, which are finally shown in the app, but different kind of itineraries. We can have gaming also in the mobile app. We can also control the visitors floor. It's not only providing information to the user, it's also providing information to the organization, because we can know whether there is what is the occupancy, or where are the hotspots of the exhibition, and provide this information to be used later on. It also controls all the beacons, so we have knowledge about how we have what is happening with all these devices. The system is already working in different museums in Spain. We have one in Barcelona, one in Malaga, one in Madrid, one in Basque Country, and there is an exhibition which is an itinerant exhibition from now a foundation called Red Acoge, and we were also in the Smart City Expo World Congress presenting our system. Now we are going to show a short video. This has to be a video here with a tool, with an app, with an iPad, which is intended for blind people and is also helping to blind people to enjoy and to understand what they are seeing.
Graphics display for the visually impaired. A grid of 2,400 dots brings graphics to your fingertips in real time. Because it connects seamlessly to your iPhone and iPad. Anything you create, like a digital drawing, can be made tactile with the dot pad. The Image Explorer allows you to zoom, rotate, pan, and invert graphics. Underneath the graphics display is a 20-cell Braille panel for reading text. Dot Pad is here to give the visually impaired access to infinite possibilities. Beyond words. Dot Pad.
This is not our device, it's not our design, it's a company that we collaborate very much. It's a South Korean company, and we work together in this kind of businesses. So if we analyze the social impact, we try to measure the social impact of the art and cultural activities. I'm pretty sure you know much better than me the impact. But because I'm coming from the science part of the education, I always like to measure the impact. And I'm using some figures coming from some analysis done by different organizations in Ireland, Northern Ireland, they end up that by enjoying cultural activities, the burden of general practitioners are reduced, and they are taking art and cultural activities as a preventive medicine or preventive way of easing the life of people. And they also advocate that art and cultural activities enable people to live full and meaningful lives, and this is even more important for people with disabilities and senior citizens. And in case of the United Kingdom, they did a study and saying that if you enjoy at least once a week one cultural activity, it is the equivalent to having a £9,000 income, household income a year. So this is having a very strong impact, not only in the health, also in the quality of life of the people. Here is my contact details if you are interested too. Thank you very much.
As a senior citizen, I feel very concerned about all of this. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is a serial entrepreneur, if I may say so, Pierluigi Christophe, created in 2018 the groundbreaking icologram startup, which immortalizes and safeguards artistic works. Icologram defines itself as a new form of multimedia support and brings an original dimension to traditional holographic projects combining art, technology, and entrepreneurship. Please welcome Pierluigi.
Hi, everybody. Thank you in advance for your attention. I would like to thank you also, all the ArtTech Foundation team for the job and for the invitation. And I am happy this year to be a partner as a Cybel'Art for the forum. It's a good honor for us. So the title here is quite important, and it's related with the presentation we had before with Professor Dufaux. As we humanize digital, we want to keep emotion using digital tools, and this is our credo. My name is Pierluigi, and I am 45 years old. I have 23 years of entrepreneurship now, so I am full of experience, and I am a passionate entrepreneur. I think we have to be passionate to do what we are doing. Everybody here, I am sure, is passionate of what he's doing, and this is the motto for an entrepreneur. And in our company, we believe in convergence. As ArtTech is a convergence between art and technology, what we want to convert, to bring together is the physical world and the digital world. So we talk about phygital experience. Phygital experience, keeping emotions, this is the key factor of what we are bringing with our company. So we see the translation of true human performance as a fundamental for the spatial experience, including the extended reality and the so-called metaverse. Our goal is to give everyone the tools they need to create their own experience and the experience of their choice. This is very important because what you are seeing here are the holograms of Maria Callas, Whitney Houston, Tupac, Claude François, Michael Jackson. But do they ask them if one day they wanted to be or not an hologram on stage? Never. They didn't choose to be an hologram. That's why I decided to create the protocol called icologram, and it has been inspired by a true lady, a fantastic woman, full of genuine authenticity. Audrey Hepburn. Those icologram is the contraction between icon and hologram, because we take care of alive people only. So we keep emotion of alive people, creating a holographic protocol. The idea started in 2018, the concept, so we have deposited and patented the brand. and created the protocol. And the first half of 2019, we created the legal capital, because there is a legal capital to capture alive people that have talent to share. So this is very important. We started with this amazing pianist called Philippe Entremont. He's now 87 years old. He just performed in Beijing, China, 2 days ago. He's an amazing pianist, and we create the first legacy, holographic legacy in the entire world. It was the first time that an artist created his own personal, intimately linked legacy, holographic legacy. So we honor the intention and the wishes of the subject we capture. We take care of what he wants to leg for the future. And this is very important for the artist's point of view. During the pandemic, we had the privilege to launch our first app. It is an augmented reality app with a Magic Leap device. So Philippe was the only pianist in the world to perform in your living room respecting the lockdown. So it was interesting because we started before the pandemic, so the pandemic gave us sense to our job. Here you see Philippe icologram, so it's not him on stage, it's his own icologram, and what I am proud to say is that we did it with a black grand piano, and black is the enemy #1 of holography. So everybody told me, Pierluigi, you are not going to success with the hologram of a great piano, black piano, and we did it. We did it, and we are very happy to show Philippe playing where he wants. His icologram can play where he wants. He's a alpha canal that belongs to him and that can be displayed almost everywhere, respecting some technical specs, of course. So we are pioneering, as we are the first to have created the first holographic legacy, and we want to provide a unique experience. And of course bring these content to the most important and modern technology. And we have, of course, a fantastic team devoted to the project. After Philippe, we started with another artist, very well known here in Switzerland and in the Francophonie, called Henri Dez. Philippe was a 2D hologram legacy. With Henri Dez, we did the volumetric capture of him. So we created a 3D holographic legacy with him. And you can see here on the video what is a volumetric capture of Henri Dez. I can show you after on my iPad if you want. I can bring you Henri Dez here as if it was with us. This is using my iPad, so we are launching our app now. In December, you will be able to have Henri Dez with you under the Christmas tree. So this is very funny for the children and also for the adult. So this is another use of Henri Dez icologram. We can use it in augmented reality, but also we can display in virtual immersive context. So this is the thing we masterize here in Cybel'Art using the icologram protocol. I wait for this. Okay. So the global volumetric market is quite important. It is estimated to grow. You can see here in terms of million, and we expect to have a big use of volumetric capture, and we expect to have a big need of volumetric capture, and that's what we are going to follow these years. And there is another project now very important. So we have Philippe, we had Henri Dez. Now we are doing something more even crazier than before, because we are going to capture a whole symphonic orchestra. And we have been preparing this protocol. I think there is a problem with the... Okay, thank you. So we had to create a specific green bubble destined to Beaulieu Theatre. So I am happy to share with you some picture I took. This was 2 weeks ago. And next Monday, you have to imagine that we are going to record a whole symphonic orchestra in this green bubble. And this is a very challenging project. Trust me, it's very complicated. Complicated because there is so many parameters to master, and we have to make a lot of elements invisible in order to fit the holographic standards. But I am very happy to share that with you. And of course, Orchestre de la Suisse Romande it was also the first orchestra to record in stereophony in the 50s. So it's nice to have the honor to try to capture the first holographic legacy of a symphony orchestra. In our pipeline, we have also some other projects, one called icologram, which are phygital story cards. So the phygital keywords is quite important for us. And also icolocoin, which is a blockchain protocol that can protect the neighbor's rights of the subject we generate as icologram. You can scan, if you want, our web app. This is our static web app, but we are also, as I told you before, launching our augmented reality app that will be downloadable on Android and iOS beginning of December. But you can already play with our icologram here. And yes, of course, I want to express our gratitude to our friends and partners. We are also working with Cambridge University in a very special classical project related to Wagner and the ring Wagner rings. So we are focusing on classical music. This is what I wanted to tell you. So thank you for your attention.
So I am live. This is me. I am not a hologram. I just wanted to make that clear. The theme of our next speaker is don't communicate, bring your message to life. And that's very good advice for people like me. That's one of the many things Immersive does, a software company with the vision of bringing reality live into extended reality. Immersive was co-founded by Javier Bello Ruiz, formerly an XR engineer and tech manager at the Cognitive Neuroscience Lab at the EPFL. Welcome, Javier.
Perfect. Hi, hello, everybody. Today I would like to speak about holographic collaboration and how volumetric video can truly bring your message to life, and hopefully about the tools that we can also provide to Pierluigi as well to continue creating that amazing content. At Imverse, a spin-off from EPFL, we created HoloLive 1, a software for capturing and streaming live 3D humans instantly. Not an avatar, really yourself or your colleagues, or even a performer captured in 3D in real time and integrated in virtual content and streamed globally. Here you can see in the video, with a single camera and soon with your own smartphone, we are able to capture and stream these humans in real time, instantly, and integrate them in virtual content, or having a video conferencing system in a 3D display to communicate with them, and also create interactive content for your smartphone and also XR devices. That's powered by HoloLive 1 that we recently released a couple of months ago. We have created immersive and interactive experiences with the Football Club Barcelona. We are also building the future of video conferencing with Logitech and also with Deutsche Telekom. We are able to launch keynote speakers and teleport them virtually to virtual events. So hopefully the ArtTech event will also have a parallel in the metaverse. And also we bring a new way of collaborating together, mixing reality, virtual objects, and your remote colleagues joining together with you as a hologram. How it works is very simple. You download our software, you calibrate the cameras, and from there, you can either record the hologram or stream it live to your virtual content and integrate it into the use case that you want to distribute globally. And that can be consumed live on your smartphone, on a VR glass, on an AR device, on anything, even your computer, obviously. To illustrate one of the creative use cases that we did with Football Club Barcelona, they created an interactive experience for the museum, for the visitors coming to their stadium, using our software to capture the goalkeeper and creating a physical installation in which the fans, they could interact and ask questions to the hologram of the goalkeeper. So this is one of the examples of how our software, beyond the enterprise use cases, can be used as well for art and creative content. So far in 2023, it has been a very exciting year. As you can see, companies from telecommunications sector, from the entertainment sector, big consulting firms, big brands are reaching out to us for exploring HoloLive 1 and how they can use it in their own applications for them and for their own clients. And finally, I would like to share with you our vision, made real, HoloLive Cloud. We are going to soon launch a cloud platform for anybody with a smartphone to be able to capture yourself as a 3D hologram and stream it over the cloud to anybody, to any device, including as well as smartphones. So you can imagine an end-to-end distribution pipeline from the capture on your smartphone to the consumption on your smartphone to be able to communicate or collaborate with your colleagues and friends in, as a hologram in a virtual environment together. And thank you very much. That's all from me. I want to thank you for the opportunity to share Imverse with you, and please feel free to reach out to us. I will be glad to answer any question later during the event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Javier. You're the only one, I think, that actually respected his allocated time today. So you really deserve a hand on that one. So we are running a little bit behind. We will now take a 20-minute break. This will be the only break of the afternoon. We're going to skip the second break because we are running behind, but there will be coffee available if you want. You just need to leave the room if you want that. So 20-minute break. And during the break, we will air a video from Scanways made especially for ArtTech. Romain Géry, director of Scanways, is a visionary entrepreneur, and you will see that his video really adds a new definition, a new dimension to 3D scanning projects. See you back here in 20 minutes. Thank you.